Introduction: The Pursuit of Greatness. In the final years of his life, Alexander the Great embarked on a series of ambitious campaigns in Asia that aimed to expand his empire further east and fulfill his vision of a world unified under his rule. This period, often referred to as his final campaigns, not only tested his military strategies and leadership but also pushed the boundaries of his empire into regions that were unfamiliar and challenging. This exploration of Alexander's final campaigns, the quest for Asia, will examine the motivations behind his relentless pursuit, the key battles and events during this period, and the consequences of his campaigns on both his empire and the regions he sought to conquer. Motivations for the campaigns. 1. Desire for glory and conquest. Legacy and immortality. Alexander's ambition was driven by a desire for eternal glory. He sought to surpass the achievements of heroes and conquerors who came before him, solidifying his place in history as one of the greatest leaders of all time. Unfinished business. With the Persian Empire largely defeated, Alexander turned his attention to the eastern territories, including the regions of Bactria, Sogdiana, and ultimately India. He believed there were still challenges to face and lands to conquer that would enhance his legacy. 2. Cultural integration and exploration. Encouraging cultural exchange. Alexander viewed his campaigns as an opportunity to integrate Greek culture with the civilizations of Asia. He believed that by spreading Hellenism, he could create a more unified world that embraced the best of both cultures. Exploration of the unknown. The eastward campaigns represented a journey into the unknown. Alexander was curious about the customs, philosophies, and peoples of the lands beyond Persia, and he sought to understand and document these encounters. Key campaigns in Asia. 1. Campaign in Bactria and Sogdiana. Conquest of Bactria. After subduing Persia, Alexander turned to Bactria, where he faced fierce resistance from local tribes. The mountainous terrain presented significant challenges, but through determination and strategic ingenuity, he managed to secure the region. Siege of the Sogdian Rock. One of the notable events in this campaign was the Siege of the Sogdian Rock, where Alexander's troops were met with fierce resistance. Using clever tactics, including scaling the rock through a hidden route, Alexander successfully captured the stronghold, showcasing his adaptability and leadership. 2. Invasion of India. Crossing the Hindu Kush. In 326 BCE, Alexander led his army across the formidable Hindu Kush Mountains, entering the Indian subcontinent. This journey was marked by harsh conditions and logistical challenges, testing the resolve of his troops. Battle of the Hydaspes. Alexander faced King Porus at the Battle of the Hydaspes, one of the most significant battles of his career. Despite the fierce resistance from Porus and his war elephants, Alexander's tactical acumen allowed him to emerge victorious, leading to the annexation of the region. Integration of local leaders. Following his victory, Alexander displayed a pragmatic approach by reinstating Porus as a satrap. This strategy not only ensured local loyalty, but also facilitated the integration of Hellenistic governance with local traditions. Challenges faced during the final campaigns. 1. Resistance and rebellion. Local hostility. As Alexander advanced deeper into Asia, he encountered increasing hostility from local tribes and rulers. The fierce resistance challenged his forces and tested their morale. Guerrilla warfare tactics. Many of the local forces employed guerrilla tactics, utilizing their knowledge of the terrain to harass Alexander's supply lines and disrupt his movements. 2. Logistical difficulties. Sustaining the army. The vast distances and unfamiliar terrain posed significant logistical challenges. Maintaining supplies and resources for his army became increasingly difficult, leading to strains on troop morale. War fatigue. After years of campaigning, Alexander's troops began to experience war fatigue. The relentless march into foreign territories took a toll on their resolve, leading to growing dissent among the ranks. The turning point. The decision to turn back. 1. The Battle of the Hydaspes aftermath. Cultural exchange. Despite his victory at the Hydaspes, the encounter with Indian culture and philosophy sparked a realization in Alexander. He began to understand the complexities and vastness of the world he sought to conquer. Growing discontent among troops. Following the intense battle and the harsh conditions faced in India, Alexander's soldiers expressed a desire to return home. Many were weary from years of campaigning and longing for their homeland. 2. The decision to withdraw. The Battle of the Hydaspes and subsequent campaigns in India prompted Alexander to reassess his ambitions. Faced with the prospect of further campaigns into unknown territories, he ultimately decided to turn back. March home. The return journey was marked by a series of challenging encounters, including the crossing of the Gedrosian Desert, which tested the endurance and resilience of his troops. Consequences of Alexander's final campaigns. 1. Cultural integration and Hellenization. Cultural exchange. Although Alexander did not conquer all of Asia, his campaigns fostered cultural exchange and integration. The spread of Hellenistic culture in regions like Bactria and India laid the groundwork for future cultural developments. Influence on local traditions. The interactions between Greek and local cultures resulted in the emergence of syncretic practices and blended traditions that enriched the cultural landscape of the regions Alexander encountered. 2. Legacy of leadership and military strategy. Influence on future generations. Alexander's military strategies and leadership principles influenced countless leaders throughout history. His emphasis on adaptability, innovative tactics, and respect for local cultures served as a model for military and political leaders. Inspiration for exploration. The legacy of Alexander's quest for Asia inspired subsequent explorers and conquerors, demonstrating the potential for cultural exchange and the interconnectedness of civilizations. Alexander's last years. Reflections on leadership and legacy. 1. Returning to Babylon. Final return. After his campaigns in India, Alexander returned to Babylon, which he envisioned as the administrative heart of his vast empire. It was here that he intended to further implement his plans for unification and governance. Plans for future campaigns. Even upon returning, Alexander's ambitions remained unquenched. He expressed interest in further campaigns into Arabia, showcasing his unyielding desire to expand his empire and secure his legacy. 2. Health decline and death. Illness and mystery. In 323 BCE, Alexander fell gravely ill in Babylon. The cause of his illness remains a topic of speculation among historians, ranging from poisoning to malaria. His declining health raised concerns among his generals and the populace about the future of the empire. Death and succession. Alexander's death on June 10, 323 BCE, at the age of 32 left a power vacuum. His untimely demise led to the fragmentation of his empire and initiated a series of struggles for power among his generals, known as the Wars of the Diadochi. The fragmentation of Alexander's empire. 1. The Wars of the Diadochi. Power struggles. Following Alexander's death, his empire fragmented as his generals fought for control. The infighting resulted in the establishment of several Hellenistic kingdoms, each vying for dominance in the region. Impact on Hellenism. The division of Alexander's empire ultimately contributed to the flourishing of Hellenistic culture. As the successor states emerged, they adapted Greek culture to their local contexts, fostering unique cultural identities. 2. Establishment of successor kingdoms. Ptolemaic Kingdom. Established in Egypt by Ptolemy I, this kingdom became a center of learning and culture. Alexandria emerged as a major cultural hub, exemplifying the blend of Greek and Egyptian traditions. Seleucid Empire. The Seleucid Empire, founded by Seleucus I, encompassed much of Alexander's eastern conquests. It facilitated the continuation of Hellenistic culture in Persia and beyond. Antigonid Kingdom. The Antigonid Kingdom in Macedonia sought to preserve the legacy of Alexander while dealing with the challenges of governing Greece and neighboring regions. The cultural and intellectual impact of Alexander's conquests. 1. The Hellenistic cultural sphere. Cultural syncretism. The blending of Greek culture with local customs resulted in a rich cultural tapestry throughout the Hellenistic world. Art, philosophy, and science flourished as ideas exchanged freely among diverse peoples. Spread of Hellenistic ideals. The principles of Hellenism, emphasizing rational thought, artistic expression, and civic engagement, resonated across the various successor states, shaping their cultural identities. 2. Advancements in knowledge. Scientific progress. The period saw significant advancements in various fields, including astronomy, mathematics, and medicine. Scholars like Euclid and Archimedes built upon Greek knowledge, influencing future generations. Philosophical developments. The rise of new philosophical schools, such as Stoicism and Epicureanism, reflected the diverse intellectual landscape of the Hellenistic world. These schools addressed ethical and existential questions relevant to the newly formed societies.